So I think it's fair to say that Rocksteady has not had the best couple of weeks in its existence. Its game, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, has, well, it's set the cat amongst the pigeons, so to speak, hasn't it? It has possibly divided a lot of the Batman fan base, at least the ones that play the Arkham games, and it's made a mockery of the Arkham games, in my opinion. I've played all 4 games. I know Rocksteady only did, the first 3. They didn't do Origins, if I remember correctly. But they were generally well received by everybody. It was great story, great action, great fight dynamics. Just gliding around Gotham was awesome. You got to be the Batman. And of course, in Arkham Knight, as it says at the beginning, this is how the Batman died. Now, you can argue whether he's dead or not. Obviously, he's not dead because Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is set in that universe. It's set in the Arkhamverse. And what did he do? Well, it's quite evidently, it's in the title, Kill the Justice League. And, well, I'm not happy about that, to be fair. Now, for full transparency, not played the game. I don't have a PS5. If I did have a PS5, I wouldn't play the game. And I'll move on to why in a moment. But first, let's just have a look at stream charts, shall we? Now, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. 18 minutes ago, there was 1,804 people playing. So we can round that up, if we're generous, to 2,000. There was a 24-hour peak of 2,477, so we'll round that up again, 2,500. And an all-time peak of 13,459 players. Not bad figures, you say? That's good. People are actively playing the game. And I agree, they're playing the game. No, no, no. Batman Arkham Knight, a game that is 10 years old, that has, as of 21 minutes ago, 3,349 people playing. Round that up to 3,500, and it's got almost double. Almost double the players. A game that is 10 years old against a game that's maybe 10 days old. Batman Arkham Knight has a 24-hour peak of 3,660 and an all-time peak of 25,623 people. So we can round that up to 26. But even if we don't, 10,000, 12,000 more. Wow. Wow. Do you know what? I'm all for it. I'm all for it. I'll tell you why. I fundamentally do not like my heroes being destroyed. I hate it. I cannot stand it. I do not understand the current obsession with deconstructing them, making them weaker than they were, making them shallow or whatever you fucking want to do. After all, look at Blue Beetle. Batman's a fascist. Where the fuck did that come from? Who thought that was a good line to put into a movie? Don't say, oh, they were joking. It don't mean it. They fucking put it in with purpose, with intention, to shit on the fucking hero. One of your trilogy. You know? Second oldest character after Superman, is it? He might even beat Superman. But this is your core character. You know, this is the guy who's kept the comics alive. And you might say, you know, DC, Warner Brothers didn't have any proper input. I don't know if they did. But if they did, what the fuck was you thinking? What was you fucking thinking that was a good idea? Huh? What was you even if you say, oh, that's alright, we'll just, you know, let it go. We can make the game work. On what planet? On what planet do you think it's a good idea for Batman to be executed by Harley fucking Quinn just after she's given him a lecture on fucking morality? A psychotic fucking murderer lectures the Batman. You know, lectures the Batman on fucking morality. Now you just know that was some fucking blue-haired fucking fat land whale who's done that. Who thought that was a great line. Because that's where all these are coming from, you fucking feminist dating men. Or worse, you male feminists who are all a bunch of fucking creeps. And if you're offended, that's you. You know, I cannot for the life of me understand why we current day writers love destroying especially legacy male characters. We've seen it in the MCU where they've shit all over them. In the last few shows, you know, the Avengers are a joke. Thanos was right. You know, we've seen the Avengers turn into a fucking musical. You know, all the current female characters are better than the male. Even though they don't seem to suffer any of the challenges that any of the male characters have. We've seen it in Star Wars. You know, fucking Luke Skywalker's now an hermit and don't want anything to do with the fucking Force or people or his sister. We saw it with Han Solo where they turned him into a deadbeat dad. We've seen it in Indiana Jones. And people will say, well, you know, don't watch them, don't play them. You know, it doesn't affect it. But it does. But it does. You can pretend all you want there's only 6 Star Wars films. But there isn't. There isn't. We still get the destruction of Luke Skywalker, and I don't care what anyone says, they do destroy him. We can pretend there's only 3 Indiana Jones films, but there isn't, there's 5. You know? We can pretend there's only 4 games in the Arkhamverse. There isn't. There's 5. And you've destroyed the whole point of playing the game. You know, you've taken our heroes. And I don't care now whether these are fictional heroes or real heroes. In our world today, in our society in the West, what we are doing is destroying our heroes. When it's our heroes that inspire us. It's the deeds of our heroes that make us want to be a better person. It's the deeds of our heroes that make us want to emulate them. Be it Batman, be it Robin Hood, be it Sherlock Holmes, be it King Arthur. Be it Superman, Batman, Green Lantern. You know, Master Chief. That's another fucking thing they're ruining. They take our heroes and they destroy them for their own purposes. Why? I don't know. Maybe because they just wish they were them, but they can't be them. Which is bizarre. Because when I read a book about Richard Sharp, I can become Richard Sharp. When I fucking see Indiana Jones, I'd like to be able to swing along fucking wood, you know, planks of wood and chase snakes and fight lions and kill Nazis and whatever. I can see myself being that character. It's a bad example because it's a bad guy. But when I watch Warrior, I can ask myself, what would, you know, a Sam do? What would Lee Young do? Now, they're not heroes per se, but you get the point. You definitely shouldn't take inspiration from them, you know, unless you just want to learn Kung Fu. But you get what I'm saying. You know, right now, we have, in the UK, and I know around the West, we're destroying statues of heroes. Because it's the wrong time frame. Because we're looking at it through modern lenses. You know, they want to tear down statues of Nelson. You know, one of Britain's greatest war figures Field Marshal Douglas Haig is vilified now. Now, that's a completely separate issue here, but he's vilified through looking at things through our eyes rather than the time of the First World War. The same with American comics. They destroy everything. They turn Captain America into a Nazi. Now, whether he was really a Nazi all along, it doesn't matter. You still did it. You still pulled the trigger. And now we have the death of Batman at the hands of Harley Quinn. By hacks who can't actually write an interesting story. Let's just destroy them. Let's just destroy them. And if, because it's a live game, and I hate live games, Ubisoft taught me to hate live games. If you've ever played Ghost Recon Breakpoint, you know what I'm talking about. Ubisoft fucking wired it into my head. Never buy a live game. On release, at least. So that's one reason I wouldn't play it. I wouldn't like it because of the way the gameplay looks. I know change is good. You're going to say change is good. Doesn't have to always be the same, but it looks nothing like the Arkham games. And that give you a real sense of satisfaction playing them games. The gameplay I wouldn't want to touch anyway, but the story really fucks me off. You're not giving us anything to aspire to at the moment. It doesn't matter what it is, what medium of entertainment, doesn't matter. We have Disney telling us that women can be murderers, like in Echo. She's a murderer, faces no consequences to her action. We had the women in Falcon and Winter Soldier. Murderers, terrorists. Well, they do face consequences because, Baron Zemo's butler kills them. But they face no consequences from the law. We have numerous tales of this. She-Hulk. It fucking peddles this weird myth that it's female empowerment to get drunk and shag around. That's not a good example to set to children who are going to be watching it. Teenage girls who the show was primarily aimed at. That's heroic to them now. Where Batman isn't. Nightwing isn't. Robin isn't. Green Lantern isn't. The whole point of Green Lantern is the ring chooses you because you are good. Oh no, don't mean nothing now. Stop destroying our heroes and start giving us something to aspire to once again. That's it for me. I will see you all again. Bye bye.